Okay, but girls, we're back. Do you see the book site?
Yes.
Before we go, Layan asked, right? Layan or Sarah?
Layout.
Layan asked me a question about here. Let me see. Most researchers trace America's rising. Wait a minute. No, not here.
At the one
Where is it?
Secretary of Agriculture.
Hmm? Yes, here.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Okay. Where is it? I can't. Here is it. Yes, she asked about this. One Secretary of Agriculture sought to drive up agriculture yields, and what does it mean? I'll tell you what does it mean. I will not click because when I click, it appears and I don't want it to appear. So here goes. Most researchers say trace America's rising obesity rate to the 1970s. This was, of course, the same decade the American embraced the cheap food farm policy. Look, there was a policy to say that we limit what we plant. Okay, but then they produce corn and soybeans. What happens to drive up agricultural yields يعني income in order to drive down the price of the industrial food chains raw material. I want industrial food, like as I said for you, the Doritos. How they make the Doritos of corn. So they increase what the corn, so the corn is cheap, so the Doritos will not be expensive. Understand? So the soybeans is for burger. They increase the farms of soybeans, so soybeans will not be expensive, so the burger will not be expensive. They plant what they need for the industrial food.
Yes.
Now you understand. They plant what they need for industrial food
Mm.
to make the price of industrial food low. How? The industrial food chain, the raw material is the basic one, because the raw material is what you use to make the industrial food. When it's cheap, so the industrial food will be cheap. So they plant plenty of corn, plenty of soybeans, because they used them into the industrial food.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
Then welcome, dear. Then we went to the Americans eat surplus food, surplus calories that we do not need at all. We go here. One might think from line 47. Sarah, read Sarah.
Yes, miss. One might think that people would stop eating and drinking this gargantuan.
Wait a minute. I'll share the PowerPoint here because I prefer that you see the vocabulary. Yes, gargantuan.
Portions
Enormous, very large.
Mm.
Okay.
portions as soon as they felt full, but it turns out hunger doesn't work that way. Human appetite.
Here is a trick that they do not eat when they hungry only. They eat more. Okay. At human appetite. Continue, Sarah.
It turns out is surprisingly elastic, which makes excellent evolutionary sense. It behooved our hunter-gatherer ancestors to feast whenever the opportunity to feast presented itself, allowing them to build up reserves of fat against future famine. Obesity researchers call this trait the thrifty gene. and why the gene represents a useful adaptation in an environment of food scarcity and unpredictability. It's a disaster in an environment of food abundance. When the opportunity to feast presents itself 24/7, our bodies are storing reserves of fat against a famine that never comes.
Yes. Reserves fast against a famine that never comes. Again, what did this paragraph about Yasara? Yani, if we divide it part by part, one might think that people would stop eating and drinking these gargantuan portions as soon as they felt full.
It
Okay,
doesn't.
so yes, but what happens to people? They stop eating when they feel full?
No,
Yeah. Well, how
because
human appetite
yeah, it's
is
elastic.
what?
Huh?
Mhm.
You can't
Elastic. Yes.
eat like even if you're not hungry, they still eat. So
Yes.
that's why they said that no matter what the famine comes or whatever, we have extra calories in our bodies that can prevent that.
Yes. So whenever we want to celebrate, we do what?
We eat
Eat. Yes, right? When we want to go outside with our friends, we do what?
food and we
Eat. Ah, ah.
Yes.
It behooved it means it asks our hunter gatherer ancestor, because you know that you took it in the social with Miss Ala, that our ancestors were hunter gatherer. To feast, they feast whenever the opportunity to feast presented itself. Feast is to have a feast. Ooh, feast, and we will eat in the feast, right? So they eat to keep fat against the famine, okay? Which is called thrifty gene. Thrifty gene, oh, I hate this. Thrifty gene is what? Thrifty gene is a gene that saves you. Uh, this gene represents a useful adaptation to the environment of food scarcity and unpredictability. So I'm afraid that the food will not be here tomorrow. And the hunt gatherer, if they hunt today, they may not hunt tomorrow. So they can eat today and they may not be able to eat tomorrow because food will finish, which is called food scarcity, that food is not enough for everyone. And unpredictability, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe we get locked into a cave and we cannot get out of it to eat food. So whenever they find food, they eat all of the food to keep the fats inside of them, to protect them from famine. But do we have to do this nowadays, girls?
No.
no.
Yes, because it's a disaster. In an environment of food abundance, there are a lot of food. Why do you eat that much? Food will not finish. Yani it is accepted that in a time of famine, you eat because the food will go away. You cannot find food. Scarcity of food. But in the time of abundant food, why do you keep food inside of you? Okay? When the opportunity of feast presents itself 24/7 a day, you can go out your friends to have food. Your father comes out of work with the desserts. You would eat. After you eat chips. After you eat chips, you drink Pepsi. After you drink, eating 24 hours a day. So our bodies are sorting reserves of fat against a famine that never comes. Underline it, please. So we have a gene which is called the thrifty gene that saves us from dying hungry. So whenever we find food, we eat it, because this is the rule of hunter-gatherers, those people who used to hunt and eat what they hunt. So they fear that they lose the food, so they eat till they are full, because they do not know what happens tomorrow. But in a time of our lives now, when food is everywhere, there is no need to reserve food, to reserve fat. Again, is a famine that never comes. So you will never lose these fats, and fats remain in your body. Okay?
Miss, can you reread the line that you will highlight?
Here, our bodies are sorting reserves of fat against the famine that never comes. It's on in line 95, 95 and 60.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay. Next to this, we can here to feast. Here, the opportunity to feast presents itself 24/7. Our bodies are restoring reserves of fat against a famine that never comes, and I can write here. I can write there are the small explanation. So explanation, okay, for overeat. Or causes, because here we talk about the cause. Okay. Here. Explanation for overeating, reasons of or causes. Okay, we go to this. Natural selection, predisposed from line 61. Line 61, are you following me, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this good that I show the book with يعني I show the site with the book, or you prefer the PowerPoint only?
No,
It's good, Miss.
Okay. So we are at line 61. Malak Wasim.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, line 61.
Natural selection predisposed us to the taste of sugar and fat, its texture as well as taste, because sugars and fats offer the most energy, which is what a calorie is, per bite. Yet in nature, in whole foods, we seldom encounter these nutrients in the concentrations we now find them in processed foods. You won't find a fruit with anywhere near the amount of fruit goes in a soda, or a piece of animal flesh with quite as much fat as a chicken nugget. Do I continue?
Yes. No, we stop here there. So what does he want to warn you of? What are the two products that are deadly dangerous? Sugar and fat. Sugar and fat. Why? Because they are manufactured. They are not normal. They are processed. It's texture as well as taste. Actually, the food that has sugar and fats is the most delicious food in the whole world. Imagine fried chicken. It is so tasty. Okay? And molten cake is so tasty because of sugar. Butter, because sugars and fats offers the most energy. They give you energy. Sugar and fat give you energy, which is what calorie is. So if you do not burn this calorie, it remains in your body as fat. But in nature, if you drink milk is sugary. Is milk sugary? You feel the taste of sugar? Is there sugar in the milk? No. Is there fat in milk?
No.
No. So in nature, in the normal food, there is no sugar and no fat. We add sugar and we add fat to the food. So we seldom encounter these nutrients in the concentrations. We now find them in processed food. You will not find the fruit with anywhere near the amount of fructose. Fructose is the sugar. This sugar, fructose, is processed sugar. If you drink 4 apples, it will not have the amount of fructose in a soda, in Pepsi, in 7-Up. You will never find a piece of animal flesh, and you will not find chicken or meat with all this fat as a chicken nuggets, because it's fried in fats. Okay. So what can we summarize here? Malak, what can we say here?
They mentioned about like the sugars and the fats and how we
Yes,
encounter these nutrients.
yes,
And they mentioned how we won't find the fruit cause in like in only the fruits.
yes, yes. And they mention what else, that we love to eat what? We love to eat what?
Sugar and fat.
Yes, humans love sugar and fat tastes, right? Right?
Yes.
Because they offer, they offer what? The most calories. And calories give you this feeling of wow, satisfaction. Gives you the feeling of satisfaction. This is what you read, what you write, girls, in your thoughts, please. So, Malak,
Yes, miss.
what would you prefer if you get a chicken nugget sandwich or chicken fillet sandwich or one yogurt?
The chicken fillet
Yes, the
sandwich.
chicken, me too. Otherwise, I'm on a diet. I definitely will
Yes,
eat the chicken. Definitely. It tastes so much better than yogurt.
yes, miss.
Okay, we continue. Turn the page to 267.
Miss Nada,
Yes, dear.
teacher, can you complete human love sugar and fat taste because they offer what?
Calories.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Noor, or who was asking? Noor, right?
No, Najwa.
Najwa. So where is Noor?
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Yes, yes, Noor, yalla read. From line 68 on page 267.
Teacher, which Noor?
Noor, you? Noor. Noor Bilal. No, you are Noor Yusuf?
I am Noor Bilal.
Okay, Noor Bilal, start.
Okay. Animal fresh with quite as much fat as a chicken nugget. You begin to see why processing foods is such a good strategy for getting people to eat more of them. The power of food science lies in its ability to break foods down into their nutrient parts and then reassemble them in specific ways that, in effect, push our evolutionary buttons, fooling the omnivore's inherited food selection system. Add fat or sugar to anything and it's going to taste better on the tongue of an animal that natural selection has weird to seek out energy dense food.
Yes, thank you. So reread it, please, and tell me what is the main idea here. Hey, Noor.
Yes, it's talking about how they add sugar and fats to the food to make the people eat them.
Yes. Add fat or sugar to anything and it's going to taste better on the tongue of an animal that natural selection has weird to seek that energy dense food. So you begin, he says to you, you begin to see why processing food is such a good strategy for getting people to eat more. The more you eat processed food, the more you need processed food. The power of food science lies in its ability to break foods down into their nutrient parts and then reassemble them in specific ways that, in effect, push our evolutionary button. Look, food, I don't know whether you took it in biology or not, that the food is divided. Yani, the body takes what benefits it and then gets rid of the rest. The normal process of digestion, and this, of course, you took it in science, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is how they break the food as these arrows. Okay. So when they break the food, we take the nutrient part, the good parts for our body, and reassemble them in specific ways, and effect push our evolutionary button. Yani we evolve, we grow, and our omnivores inherited food selection system. Yani because we inherited this omnivore system, that we satisfied our needs for this. So this is good. When you add fat or sugar to anything, it is going to add to taste better. So you eat more than you need. And if you eat food, normal food, you eat like vegetable, fruits, you eat. Bring sugar and add it to it. If you eat chicken and if you eat fried chicken, from which one you'll eat more?
The fried chicken.
So the fried chicken, you eat more because it tastes better. So you want to eat more and more and more. You don't stop. So this is the strategy of helping you or aging people to eat more because they add fat and sugar to this food. Chocolate, the normal chocolate, the normal taste of chocolate with no sugar and butter, you cannot taste it. But when you add butter and when you add sugar, you cannot stop eating it. Right? Chicken, normal chicken and fried chicken. Anything fried tastes better. Okay?
Yes.
So he plays on the taste. When you fry it, when you add sugar, it tastes better. Right?
Yeah.
So here we can say that processed food taste processed food tastes better and appeals to the thrifty gene. It plays on the thrifty gene. I want to eat and eat and eat as if there is a famine will never come. Okay, here. Processed food tastes better, okay, and appeals to the thrifty gene. We go to paragraph 8, which is on line 78. And now, Noor, Yusuf.
This begs the question of why the problem has gotten so much worse in the recent years. It turns out the price of a calorie of sugar or fat has plummeted since the 1970s. One reason that obesity and diabetes become more prevalent the further down the socio-economical scale you look is that the industrial food chain has made energy-dense foods the cheapest foods in the market. When measured in units of cost per calorie, a recent study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared the energy costs of different foods in the supermarket. The researcher found that $1 could buy 1,200 calories of potato chips and cookies. Spent on a whole food like carrots, the same dollar could buy only 250 calories.
Yes, we stop here, please. Thank you, Noor. Think with me, Noor. This begs the question of why the problem has gotten so much worse in recent years. Why the problem became worse. The price of a calorie of sugar or fat has plummeted since the 1970s. I want to show you the here. Here. The vocabulary that you missed. Here, adaptation, the adjusting or modifying to a new condition, predisposed to be exposed, tendency to wear something, you like it, tendency to wear something predisposed, evolutionary, development, evolve, concentration, the concentration, this light or the strong or intense form of something, Okay, nutrient. Okay, something that provide nourishment for the body. Okay, and plummet. I just want to get sure of the pronunciation of this word, so we do not say it wrong. Plummet. Yes, let's get sure.
Plummet.
Yes, plummet. We're right. Plummet, to fall or drop. To fall or drop. Socioeconomic is relating to economic and social factors. Plummet, to fall or drop. Socioeconomic is relating to economics. Okay, so we go back to our here. Okay, so of calories of sugar, of fat has plummeted. We said plummeted means what?
Dropped or fell.
Yes. So the price of a calorie of sugar or fat has plummeted, went down. As we know why, because they increased the raw ingredient or raw material for processed food. So one reason that obesity and diabetes become more prevalent the further down the socioeconomic scale you look is that the industrial food chain has made energy dense food the cheapest food in the market. This is what what he has said to us yesterday. What Poland said to us yesterday. The industrial food chain has made energy dense foods the cheapest food. So you buy Doritos cheaper than you buy corn. You understand? So this is what you highlight. Are you with me, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
So here, okay, I add a comment. What is the comment I want to add? What is the annotation I want to show? What is the main idea here?
The reason that the problem had increased.
Here,
worsened.
Yes, that the what?
That the energy dense foods are the cheapest.
Yes, so the cheapest food is food with the most calories. Here is the problem. The cheapest food is the food with the most calories. A recent study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared the energy cost of different foods in the supermarket. The researchers found that $1 could buy 1,200 calories of potato chip. By the way, you need from 1,200 till 1,400 or 600 calories per day. With $1, you can buy potato chips and cookie, and that's it. You get the 1,200 calories. You got them. Okay. But what if you buy carrots with $1? It is 250 calories. Okay, so on the beverage aisle is those aisles between in the market. You can buy 875 calories of soda for $1 or 170 calories of fruit juice from concentrate. So you have $1. You get 170 calories of fruit juice, or you get to buy Pepsi. And when you buy Pepsi, you get 875 calories of soda with $1. So the price for the fat and sugar is cheaper than the price of the calories that you get of healthy food. It makes good economic sense that people with limited money to spend on food would spend it on the cheapest calories they can find. especially when the cheapest calories, fats, and sugars are precisely the ones offering the biggest neurobiological rewards. What does it mean? If you have $2, girls, 2 reals. No, not 2 reals. Let's say 10 reals, and you go to the supermarket. What would you buy? Natalie, what would you buy, Natalie, if you go to the supermarket with 10 reals? Natalie is not here? Diana Wael?
No, miss, yes, I'm here.
Natalie, okay, dear. Now, Natalie, you have 10 reals. You go to the supermarket. What are you going to buy?
What I go to the supermarket for?
For yourself, you go to the supermarket. What would you buy? You go out with your friends and your father gives you 50 reals. You went to the supermarket with your friend. What would you buy?
Something to drink, something sour, candy.
Uh-huh. Sour Patch, candy. Huh? What else?
And something to drink, chips.
Chips, Pepsi,
Yeah.
sodas, يعني So
Yeah, soft
you buy
drinks.
sodas, you buy chips, you buy candies, you buy Sour Patch, which is candies. What are the ingredients of Pepsi?
Sugar, and
Sugar,
more sugar,
sugar.
and more
And what
sugar.
about yeah, chips?
Oil,
Oil,
and something that looks like chips.
sodium,
And
which
sodium.
is very unhealthy. Salt, sugar, too. Extra manufactured taste, يعني not normal taste, manufactured taste. We don't know. God only knows from where they bring it. Sour Patch, which is sugar, gelatin. We don't know from where gelatin comes from. So with 50 reals, she bought a bunch of sugar and fat only. This is what she bought, Natalie, and any one of us will buy, by the way. But if you go to the fruits and vegetables section, which we will never do, because what would you buy for 50 reals? Let's reduce the price. If it's 10 real, you will buy one Pepsi, one Doritos, one Sour Patch, one candy, one if you take this 10 reals and you go to the fruit section, what would you buy with 10 reals?
Maybe one apple and a banana.
1 kilo of apples. That's it. 1 kilo of apples. The 1 kilo of apples had the same calories of the Pepsi chips candies together?
No.
No. Calories, they do not, apples, they do not have calories. Cucumbers, for example, is zero calories or 8 calories. Yani. It's like you eat a whole kilo of cucumber for 80 calories. Those 80 calories are found in one piece of chocolate. One piece of chocolate. So people with limited money, they go and spend it on cornflakes. You buy cornflakes with 20 reals to eat from it each day. Each morning you eat cornflakes. Why? It's much cheaper than buying eggs, cheese, bread, beans, and sit and eat. And what is more, when the cheapest calories, fats, and sugar are precisely the ones offering the best neurobiological reward. Neurobiological is our feelings. So when you eat sugar, I'm happy I'm eating sugar. I'm happy I'm eating fats. It gives me a feeling of satisfaction. My body is happy when you give it sugar. When you intake sugar, you feel happy. Right or not? Or is it me alone?
We all must feel happy.
Yes, we have a chocolate, peps and chips, and we have this. So it needs, I don't think, a miracle to change the way we eat. And instead of gathering, imagine that you take your friends to the section of carrots and tomato and carrots and tell them, okay, today we will eat carrots. But actually, this is the trick that we have all fallen in, that we substitute the good healthy food with this processed food. We can finish it. Yes, we have the last paragraph. We can finish last paragraph in 5 minutes. So Ragad, are you here? Is Ragad here? Okay, Ragad didn't. Okay, who didn't read today? No, Jude. Okay, Jumana, quickly, Jumana.
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Miss,
from
I'm
very
sorry,
simply, we
was lagging.
subsidize from line,
Miss?
from, yes, Ragad, you're here?
Yes, I'm sorry, my mic was lagging.
It's okay, dear, but I said to Jumana to read next time, ya Ragad. Jumana, from line 96, dear. Okay, Ragad, be with us. Are you good or you sick or what? Ragad?
Yes, I'm good, miss.
Okay. So, Jumana,
Very simply, we subsidize
we subsidize.
high fructose corn syrup in this country, but not carrots. Is raising alarms over the epidemic of obesity. The president is signing farm bills designed to keep the river of cheap corn flowing, guaranteeing that the cheapest calories in the supermarket will continue to be the unhealthiest.
So this is the last thing I'll say for today. Very simply, we subsidize high fructose corn syrup in this country. So the government subsidizes, the government pays part of the cost of producing. They pay, the government helps the corn production, the corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup in this country. It helps it. Why? Why it helps produce it? Because they use it, the corn syrup, where? In all the processed food, but not carrots. They do not subsidize the carrots. What the Surgeon General is raising alarms over the epidemic of obesity. Epidemic of obesity that we cannot control. Everyone is fat now. The president is signing farm bills designed to keep the river of cheap corn flowing, guaranteeing that the cheapest calories in the supermarket will continue to be the unhealthiest. You got me, girls? We continue next Sunday, literature, inshallah.
Miss Sunday.
Okay?
We have a test on Sunday or?
No, we have a test on Sunday on the first one. On, what did we take?
Hiroshima. Yeah, I mean,
Hiroshima.
when is it? The next Sunday.
Sunday.
Next week?
Sunday.
Okay.
The test will be on Hiroshima. You will take literature, grammar, vocabulary in the same day, girls. I'm sorry, it's not my decision.
Miss, there will be one period or both periods?
Two.
Okay,
On
thank
Sunday.
you.
Welcome. See you tomorrow.
Bye, miss.
Bye,
Girls,
miss.
have a nice day.